Objectives for today: to find the volume of a whole 3D figure or part of it. Also the surface area, which I did not write. Example 1. There's a cube with a sphere inside of it. And this cube is going to have side lengths of 6 centimeters, which means everything all around is 6 centimeters. If the cube has a length of 6 centimeters, then what's the radius of the sphere inside of it? Is how much? 3, yes, 3 centimeters. So to find the volume of the red region, you have to do the volume of the cube first, which is just a side cubed. So that's 6 cubed, which turns out to be 216 centimeters cubed. 6 times 6 times 6 is the volume of the cube. Now you have to find the volume of the sphere. And the formula for the volume of a sphere is 4 pi r cubed divided by 3. 4 pi r cubed divided by 3. So that's 4 pi, and r cubed is going to be 3 cubed. So 3 to the third, and then divide everything by 3. You can put all that in your calculator at one time. The answer should come out to be 113.10 centimeters cubed. And what we'll do on these problems and any problem before this, anytime you're finding the volume of something inside and it comes out to be a decimal, just round it to the hundredths place and then go back and subtract. 216 minus 113.10 should come out to be 102.9 centimeters cubed. That's the volume of the red region. Example 2. The cube has a length of 12 feet. If that's the case, then the radius is 6 feet. You have to find the volume of the cube first, which would be 12 cubed. So 12 to the third power comes out to be 1728. And that would be feet cubed. Now for the sphere, you're going to have 4 times pi times the radius cubed. Radius is 6, you have to cube it, and then divide everything by 3. The only thing in this formula that changes from time to time is the radius, that part. Everything else stays the same. So if you put in 4 times pi times 6 cubed, you should come out with 2714 and some change, but you have to divide that by 3. And you'll get an answer of 904.78, rounding that to the hundredths place. So go back and do 1728 and subtract 904.78. And come back with an answer of 823.22 feet cubed. That is the volume of the red region. Practice number 1. There's a sphere inside of a cube, and the sphere has an edge of 8 meters. Find the volume of the red region. The solution to the practice problem is to find the volume of the cube first, which is going to be 8 cubed, and 8 to the third power is 512, and that's going to be meters to the third. Now for the sphere, you're going to have 4 pi times the radius, which should be 4 meters, 4 cubed, and then divide by 3. So 4 times pi, and then times 64, which is 4 cubed, and divide by 3. You should get 268.08 meters cubed. So you need 512 minus 268.08. And that's going to come out to be 243.92 meters cubed. Another example. This is a sphere that has a radius of 6 inches. What you have to find is the surface area of the sphere. And the surface area of the sphere is 4 pi r squared. Similar to the volume, except it's r to the second and there's no division by 3. So to find the surface area, you would do 4 times pi and then times 6 squared. That's the same as 4 pi times 36. And you can simplify it even further as 144 pi. And then put that in your calculator to come up with 452.39 inches squared. Another practice. Find the surface area of this sphere if the radius is 12 feet. The solution is to start with the formula 4 pi r squared and then dump in what you know. So that gives us 4 pi 12 squared, and simplify that to get 144 in place of 12 squared. And now you can do 4 pi and then times 144 to come up with 1809.56 feet squared. Another example. We're going to find the surface area of a pyramid. And the surface area of a pyramid starts by doing 2 different things. First, we have to give the pyramid some units here. On the bottom, we're going to make this 5 and 5, so that means it's a square bottom. And then we're going to give a slant height here of 7, and then a regular height of 6. We'll make all of this meters. Now what you have to do to find the surface area of a pyramid, 2 separate things. One, if it's a square bottom, then all of those triangular faces are the same. What is the formula for the area of a triangle? Anybody remember? The formula is 1/2 base times height for the area of a triangle. So that's one face of the pyramid. How many faces do we have on the pyramid? 4. So whatever you find for the area of one triangle, you have to multiply it by 4. And then you have the bottom to take care of. The bottom is a 4-sided figure. Sometimes it's square, sometimes it's not, but whatever it is, just do length times width and add it to what you just found. So in this example, we would plug in what we know. The 4 is part of the formula, does not come from the figure. The 1/2 is part of the formula, but the base is this. It's one of these on the bottom. So that's a 5. And the height is the slant height up to the point of the pyramid. And in this case, it's 7. And then you go to your bottom. Length times width is simply 5 times 5. It's just 2 sides on the bottom. And then from there, you can simplify. Inside the parentheses, we'll have 5 times 7. And you can do all this in a calculator, but it's 5 times 7, which is 35, and then we would need 1/2 of that, and then plus 25 on the end. 1/2 of 35 is 17.5. Better put parentheses around those. And then you would have plus 25 at the end. So just plug it all in, 4 times 17.5, and then plus 25. Should come out with 95 meters squared for the surface area of the pyramid. Here's a quick review.
What's the difference?
We didn't even need a height for this one, so we won't even list a measure from here on out. But you start with your triangle, one triangle, and you need base, which is 5, times height, which is really the slant height of the triangle, and then multiply it by 4 because you have 1, 2, 3, 4 faces, and then add to that the bottom, the area of the bottom, which is length times width. In this case, 5 times 5. And then simplify it all out till you get 95. Another example. In this case, we really don't need the height of the pyramid, just the slant height. And what we're going to use is 10, 10, and then for a slant height, we'll use 8. Everything is going to be in centimeters. The formula is 4 times the quantity, 1/2 base times height, with height being the slant height, and then plus LW, which is the area of the bottom. So plug in what you know. Base times height would be 10 times 8, and then plus LW, that would be 10 times 10. And simplify that out. Let's see, 10 times 8 is 80, and then half of 80 is 40, and then you'll have 100 on the end from 10 times 10. 160 plus 100 should give us an answer of 260 centimeters squared. Practice problem. Find the surface area of this pyramid, and our numbers for this are going to be 12 on the bottom and then a slant height of 16. Everything is going to be in inches. The solution is to start with the formula, 4 times the quantity, 1/2 base times height, and then plus LW for the bottom. Plug in what you know, and that would be the base of 12, and then the height comes from the slant height, that's 16, and then do LW, which in this case is 12 and 12. So go back and simplify. You'll have 1/2 times 12 times 16. 12 times 16 is 192. So we'll put that down. And then out here you can simplify 12 times 12 to be 144. Half of 192 is 96. And then plus 144. We'll have to finish this up top. 4 times 96 is 384. And then you add 144 to that, and come up with 528 inches squared. Another practice. We don't need the slant height on this. That just came from the picture that I took off the internet. On the bottom, we're going to have dimensions of 20 inches and 20 inches. And for a slant height, we will have 12 inches. Find the surface area of the pyramid. The solution for the practice problem. The formula is 4 times the quantity, 1/2 base times height, and then plus LW. Plug in what you know. The base is 20 and the height is 12. And then LW is 20 times 20. Simplify what you know. You have 20 times 12, which would be 240. And then you can go back and simplify that after you do 400 here for the 20 times 20. 1/2 of 240 is 120. And we'll have to finish this at the top. 4 times 120 is 480. And then plus 400 is going to give us 880 inches squared.